Did you know your interest rate today can still be shaped by data created decades before you were born? Did you know women and minority borrowers paid a disproportionate share of the $253 billion in interest charged to consumers in 2025, even when their income and repayment behavior were the same? And did you know the legacy of redlining still shows up inside modern credit algorithms, quietly raising costs for the very communities once denied access? Welcome to the Coded Against Us podcast. I'm Vincent Montgomery, founder of Predictive Credit Systems and author of Coded Against Us. Today we launch something the credit industry has never seen before: the Utilize Pro Credit Optimization Platform, a system built not to preserve the past, but to correct it. You see, because credit scores decide who gets to move forward and who gets left behind, who gets a home, who gets a business loan, and who gets the chance to build generational wealth. But the truth is undeniable. The scoring system we rely on was never designed to treat people fairly. It was built on biased data, it was built on outdated assumptions, and it was never corrected. Millions of people have been misscored, misjudged, and misclassified by algorithms that were never audited for fairness. That ends today. I founded Predictive Credit Systems to challenge the architecture of modern credit itself. And today we launch Utilize, the first fairness-audited credit intelligence platform designed for the world we actually live in. Utilize is not an upgrade, it's a rewrite. A new standard for how credit is measured, how risk is understood, and how people are treated by algorithms that shape their financial lives. In this podcast, I'm reviewing Pillars 1 and 2 and unveiling Pillar 3 of the Utilize architecture, and showing how real-time utilization intelligence, income contextualization, and fairness audited algorithms can finally deliver a credit system worthy of the people it judges. For decades, traditional scoring has punished people for utilization volatility. That has nothing to do with default risk. And this is not a small flaw, it's a structural harm. Women, gig workers, caregivers, anyone with irregular income gets hit the hardest. Pillar 1 ends that. We track utilization in real time. We identify volatility patterns. We prevent unnecessary score erosion. This is not an improvement. This is a correction to a decades-old injustice. Irregular income is not instability. It's the reality of modern work. Traditional models still treat it as a threat, still punish it, still misclassify it. Pillar 2 changes that. We contextualize income patterns. We separate true instability from predictable volatility. We restore accuracy where the industry has tolerated bias. If you want different outcomes, you have to have different inputs. Together, Pillars 1 and 2 stabilize the inputs that have historically punished women and minority borrowers. So now let's look at Pillar 3, fairness audited algorithms. Pillar 3 is the moral center of Utilize. Every insight, every recommendation, every risk signal is audited for disparate impact before it reaches the user. Because fairness auditing asks questions that no one else is asking. Are geographic variables acting as racial proxies? Are purchase categories penalizing mothers and ethnic communities? Are employment type proxies harming gig workers? Are model weights recreating redlining in digital form? This is not just transparency. This is accountability. This is justice encoded into software. In the CFPB Regulation B final rule, under adverse action notices of 2024 and 2025, they have drawn a bright red line through the finance industry. If a lender uses AI, they must explain the decision in plain English, not technical language, not vendor language, human language. The update makes three things clear. First, lenders cannot say the algorithm decided. That era is over. Second, they must disclose the specific factors that drove the denial, not categories, not clusters, actual reasons. And third, if a model is complex or opaque, the lender must still provide a human, readable explanation that the consumer can understand. The CFPB also clarified that lenders cannot rely on black box vendor models without explainability. SHAP and LIME, which are the rigorous mathematical and reproducible explanations that allow auditors to check fairness in credit decisions, are now recognized as compliant methods for consumer-facing explanations. And the CFPB is pushing further with new transparency rules for 2025 and 2026. Consumers must receive model-driven decision data. Lenders must disclose proxy variables. High-impact lending models must undergo independent fairness audits. This is the regulatory future, and Utilize is already built for it. So now let's review some litigation updates. Case 1, AI Proxy Discrimination 2025. Courts are challenging lenders that use zip code scoring, behavioral proxies, and employment-type penalties. Judges now recognize that AI can violate the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, even without protected class inputs. This is the exact failure Utilize was designed to eliminate. Gig Worker, Case 2, Gig Worker Credit Discrimination, 2026. A class action alleges systematic misscoring of gig workers due to irregular income. This is the same pattern I exposed encoded against us. Case 3, Algorithmic Redlining, 2024 through 2026. Geographic clustering is recreating redlining maps inside modern credit models. Utilize audits geography to prevent algorithmic redlining. Courts are now demanding the corrective framework that Pillar 3 provides. So what's the real-world impact? For the gig worker, Utilize recognizes structural volatility, not instability. For the caregiver, Utilize contextualizes income gaps from family leave. For the minority borrower, Utilize audits geography to prevent algorithmic redlining. And for the woman entrepreneur, Utilizes ensures her business credit is not suppressed by biased inputs. This is fairness in practice, not theory, not aspiration, reality. In summary, Pillar 3 is the moral center of Utilize. It says, we will audit our algorithms. We will expose proxy discrimination. We will not replicate the injustice of the past. We will rewrite the algorithm. Rewrite your credit history. Start your free trial of Utilize at predictivecreditsystems.com.